Title: Setting up a peer support group. George speaking.
Hi, my name's George Ayub. I'm a fairly outgoing person who's been involved for a long time in the peer group, especially with DDA, doing a lot of the facilitation and any training, but most of all, enjoying my involvement in the community.
Julie speaking.
I'm Julie Duong and I've been involved in peer support for over the past year now. I have been going to a peer support group and also helping DDA facilitate and run and bring together the communities to create peer support groups.
We actually met at a Blacktown peer group. It was quite a good day and we all just became friends. We all hit off real quick.
Yeah, and that's how I met George and he introduced me to DDA and we've been working pretty much ever since.
It's good working with you, Jules.
Ace speaking.
My name's Ace. I am a project coordinator with Diversity and Disability Alliance, and we're working towards building the peer movement all across New South Wales. Peer support is about building community, and we've all got something that we can contribute, being an active and important, accountable member of a group.
Title: Why set up a peer support group? Ace speaking.
I didn't have much to do with peer support before. It's a great thing to be part of because it's a lifestyle, really, if you think about it. You know, that concept about being a peer, it's being equal. It's that mutual respect for each other's experiences, what each other knows, and having the environment to share that is something that is so important.
George speaking.
Being valued, one of the biggest issues I find in the disability field is people's voices may be heard but never sort of acknowledged and never valued anyway, and coming together with peers, it's a good place to start.
For me, peer support is a group of experts coming together. It's about the people who are actually living the policies, living the system, living the programs, and that's gold.
Title: Finding people. Julie speaking.
Peer support can happen anywhere, anytime. I think the best way to find people is just through word of mouth. You've got friends, you've got family members, they know people, so your network just doubles. Another good way to bring people into a peer group is to find someone who's really connected in the community. And I think it's important when you have a purpose so people know what they're coming towards. So if you have a purpose, you can share it with organizations who might then know other people. I actually know of a peer group run somewhere else in Sydney, and they usually have only 2 members come, and that's okay. Having 2 is the start of building a movement, a peer movement.
Ace speaking.
To be part of a peer support group really just takes 2 people. You find someone who you can work with to make a start, working off each other's strengths and looking at what each can contribute. Sometimes it's I can do facilitation, or I'm great at developing flyers. I'm really good at using the computer, and then from that, you know, you kind of look for other people who might be interested to be part of the group, and then you just build from there.
Title: Organising a peer support meeting. George speaking.
The beautiful thing about our peer group, Julie, is we don't need much resources. What we need is a venue, somewhere safe, quiet, where we can talk amongst each other, and having a safe space. So a place where it's, you know, somewhere comfortable for people to share, to talk, is really important.
Julie speaking.
You have to do a bit of planning. You have to think about when you want to meet. Is it going to be every fortnight, every month, and where it's going to be? People like to know so they can plan in advance. And the beauty about peer support is that it doesn't have to be in a formal structure. There is a peer support group in the Hunter that actually meets in the park and their purpose is to meet for mental health well-being. So they get together, they meet in the park, and they get to do fitness and work out, and that brings them together.
George speaking.
That's awesome. It just takes peer support to the environment that people are comfortable in. I think that is so critical.
Title: Finding Allies. Julie speaking.
If you need to grow, then you can start approaching your local council for venues or clubs.
George speaking.
I find libraries are great places to do so. One of the peer groups, the local council was very supportive, and they've given us free space at a library.
Ace speaking.
In actually organising a meeting or a peer support group, allies play a really important part, but it's important that you actually find good allies who have values that are similar to the principles and values that you want to create, want to develop in your peer support group. We're looking for people and organisations who understand the value of peer support and who respect the space that peers create, but want to provide whatever support is required for that to happen. Things like providing a free venue, providing catering. They could also help promote the peer support group. And you also have to be clear on what support you will be wanting from your connections, from your allies.
Title: Making it accessible. Julie speaking.
I think it's really important to consider how to make peer groups accessible to people with different needs. Oftentimes, we might ask someone what their needs actually are. If we can help them by getting from the train station to going to the room that we're meeting at, to moving chairs around. Another thing about making it accessible is that it can actually be online or over the phone. You can provide peer support through chatting to someone through WhatsApp or Facebook.
I think it's really important to have easy English so people can fully participate in the discussion.
George speaking.
If we need to have an interpreter, for example, there, we sometimes encourage that person to bring a friend who can speak English or interpret on their behalf, or we sometimes try and organise for an interpreter. But the interpreter bit's a bit costly, so we tend to more often get people in the community who are involved with their lives anyway.
Another way to think about it creatively is to use your NDIS plans to be able to perhaps find support workers who speak another language or the language that you need them to interpret.
Title: Ace's Tips. Ace speaking.
So, some tips for starting a peer support group. Be clear on the purpose of the group. Find people to start the group with you. Meet, chat, do what you have to do. Peer support can happen anywhere, anytime. Find the common ground that you have. The NDIS obviously is an issue that we are all dealing with. Sharing information on issues and topics that matter, finding solutions together, actually getting people together to talk about a specific issue is a great way to start conversations and to start peer support or start the group. In the peer movement, people with disability are the experts and are valued for what we know, and that's how it should be.
This video was made for Diversity and Disability Alliance, www.ddalliance.org.au. Thanks to Abby, Ace, George, Julie, Montaha and Pauline, and to all the peers who helped make this video. Produced by Futures Upfront and Thinkwell Digital.